Vice produced a Dark Side of the Ring on Herb Abrams entitled Cocaine and Cowboy Boots. So this starts off. Herb Abrams started the UWF, the Ultimate Wrestling Federation. And what we're seeing now is he was a wreck as a person. He used his money on cocaine and hookers. They're showing reenactments of him with two prostitutes, and there's a huge line of cocaine on the desk or on the table. He's jumping out of the window. So this is going to be a crazy story. It has to be the longest title. It's called Cocaine and Cowboy Boots, the Herb Abrams story. There was a wrestling convention in which Herb Abrams, being the smart promoter he would go on to be, he introduced them to every single big star there. And that was actually really brilliant when you look back. Doing those little things, if you will. Introducing people, getting people to know who you are. We're going to hear from Mick Foley in this documentary. We're going to hear from... We see a UWF press conference, and there was craziness there. There was a fight between two of the wrestlers, and it's a work, obviously. There's a funny part. We're hearing a story about how he has these two women with him, and the way the guy who's explaining it says, they're not two South Carolina honeys, they're two Hollywood honeys. I thought that was pretty funny the way he was saying it. Lanny Delge, he shows the UWF title, and it says UWF, and then we hold it backwards. It says F you, and he wanted it to say F you to Vince McMahon. Herb Abrams is able to get Andre the Giant to join the UWF, and we see him walking to the ring in 1990. And at this point, though, Andre's in very poor health. After Andre makes the appearance for the UWF, Vince McMahon calls him and he brings him right back in. Herb Abrams is able to get into one of Vince McMahon's most valuable assets to his company, which is a massive revenue generator, which is, of course, merchandise. They have their own t-shirts, they have cookies, which is kind of a play on the WWF ice cream bars. They have their own cookies. This is pretty entertaining. The beach brawl was a mess. It was a disaster. It had people in the audience. It was like a few hundred. No one was there. It was so bad they had to... Their pay-per-view, the beach brawl, they had to turn down the lights in the auditorium because it was so embarrassing because no one was there. So they made it look like no one was in the arena. On pay-per-view, they did worse. They got like 100 people. Or maybe it was... The guy who said it was a 0.01, so I think it could have been between 100 to 1,000 people, which is fucking humiliating. It's the worst thing ever. It was just the worst pay-per-view of all time. So Herb is just running this company into the ground. He's just making mistake after mistake. One of the big problems he does is he has the company... of course, he's paying people, but it's late. And he has two bank accounts. One of them has $1 million in it. The other one has no money in it. And he's cutting checks from that bank account. And once this got out to some of the talent, first it was the production people wanted to walk out because they weren't getting paid. And once it got to the talent, there were people wanting to murder Herb Abrams. They were thinking about killing him. They wanted to throw him off a balcony. They threatened promoters. It was just a disaster. This Herb Abrams is a character. They're just telling various stories about him. He's tearing up furniture. He's tearing up pillows. He's obsessed with pillow casings. He rips out the pillow, rips up the feathers. He thinks people are watching him. He probably knows maybe I got in trouble in the FBI, the DA, someone wants to get him. Someone's trying to set him up because he's going to be arrested. That's what he probably was thinking, but he was just a massive drug addict. It was just cocaine and hookers. And the whole cowboy boots is... When he was in this hotel room, he was naked. He wouldn't take off his cowboy boots, so he'd still have his... he'd be naked with cowboy boots, and he'd sniff cocaine, so that's where you get the cocaine and cowboy part of the title. He was just hookers all the time. He'd pay them like $2,000, just insane amounts. There's a crazy story with Herb Abrams and a woman. He's basically trying to write her a check, but she's yelling, "No, you're supposed to give me cash." Two thugs come there, and he immediately jumps through the window, and then they get a call from him in California that he's running through the streets there completely naked. It's just embarrassing. So Herb then books an event in Las Vegas. What happens is Vince McMahon kind of opens the door for him at WrestleMania 9, which is a horrible show, but I guess it was a success. It's a whole Roman Coliseum, and they shows people in Las Vegas wrestling pretty profitable, and Herb does a show later in Vegas. Herb Abrams, he gets the MGM Grand booked, and it's just another mess. No one's there. No one. It just has like 200 people, and it's a big arena. He gets on the mic. He says, "Let's hear it for the Jews." I'm thinking to myself, "What the fuck? Let's hear it for the Jews." He's Jewish, but oh my, it's just this guy is just. Oh man, what a character! We see the last known recording of Herb Abrams in 1996. I don't know if he's meeting with his family in his office, but this is the last time we really see of him. Then, of course, he would pass away. I guess he was so high, he had these hookers with him, and all he would do was snort cocaine. He was so high on coke, and he was covered in Vaseline or oil. It was just such a fucking nightmare. And he's taking a baseball bat, smashing his hotel room. Oh, God, this is the craziest way to die. I guess what happens, he's trying to kill these two hookers with the baseball bat. He's chasing one of them, and one of them shuts the door on him, and he just goes head first into the door, and he dies. Like, that's one of the stories. Another story is right when the police get him, he has a coronary, and he dies quickly. It's just insane. Another story says when he's arrested, he took his clothes off, went to jail, and he had a seizure, and it killed him. Kind of sad seeing some wrestlers who knew him. Man, they're all breaking down. They were devastated by his death. The way he's dying, it's just insane. I almost want to see a movie on this. I think it'd be really entertaining. So I thought this was entertaining overall. I thought it was a well-made documentary. I didn't hear much of Herb Abrams, so I thought the way they shot it, I thought the reenactments are really good. I thought it was very entertaining overall, and I enjoyed this episode of Dark Side of the Ring.